free. They tumbled naked on the same black sands of Richardson's that we'd tumbled free and naked on. Here, tucked away in our quiet, overlooked corner, the world made sense. But Hii's skin made her mother Laka do things only tourists do. That babe, so different from her mama, stayed parked under the shade of a palm tree, buried in hats and coveralls in Laka's arms, slathered from ear to toe in sunscreen so thick the ocean didn't know what to do with her. KAWAI bounced her on its vast blue glittering surface, a pink conch baby buoy. We itched to get our hands on that babe, the next in line of the great Naupakas, a true daughter of our neighborhood, finally returned to take her place. We wanted to strip off her clothes and wipe her free of all those chemicals, to hold her up to the sun and let her bake. But Laka stayed hunched over her baby, alert, anxious, like she was trying to keep a bubble from popping. She spread her towel on the sand on the other side of the beach as if we were contagious. We kept our questions tied to our tongues, dogs on chains. The sky was bone dry and the moon winked bright on the night the muddy gravel driveway off Kalani'anaole Street filled with rusted cars toddling on spare tires and with cracked windows. We extracted ourselves from cluttered back seats along with the foil-covered pans full of noodles for long life, lomi salmon and poi brought up fresh from the valley, taco poke, rice still steaming hot in the pot, and all the other pupus expected of a party. 6-packs clinked their way into the coolers on the porch, waiting with open arms and melting ice. The fish, caught and cleaned that morning, were salted and laid out on the hibachi to hiss and sizzle and fill the air with a smell that made the tourists driving by wish they were invited. The warped plywood floor creaked and strained under the weight of what was becoming a very heavy party. On the porch, cigarette smoke exhaled in an upward tilt toward the current of breeze that had danced its way across Hilo Bay and into the yard. Hands, the kind accustomed to manual labor, waved at the wispy tendrils if they dared linger. We wanted to welcome her home. But Laka was skittish, a flight risk. We didn't want her to leave again. We got as close as we dared. We tiptoed, we teased. But into those waters, we never went deeper than our ankles. We whispered. It's what happens when you move Maui and like be high maka maka. When you work in the hotels with all the haole. The long, narrow length of dirt that served as Puhi Bay's parking lot was already full. Laka fitted her car between 2 trucks, both with jerry-rigged lifted suspensions, their bodies towering a full foot above their oversized tires as if floating on air. She stared for a minute, puzzled. Had this existed before she left? How quickly things change. "Eh, how's it, stranger?" she heard someone call from a distance. She waved in the direction of the voice and then turned away, not quite ready. She took her time rummaging in the back seat, gathering the accessories that were now her life. Diaper bag, changing blanket, sunshade, and a squirming, fussy baby who was not happy about being stuffed in a hot car at what was usually her nap time. A passing car stopped in the middle of the road. "Excuse me, hey," the driver called through the open window of the car. Laka turned, catching the Small Hertz rental sticker on a corner of the windshield. "Is this some kind of event or something?" Laka glanced toward the crowded grassy hill behind her and shook her head. No, this was very much a private party. The driver was about to ask her something else, never mind the cars piled up on the road behind him, all trying to be polite and not honk. She hurried away before he could say another word. School had broken for summer only a week ago, but the tent city at Puhi Bay was already in full swing. Lines strung between trees were straining under heavy wet towels and freshly rinsed pareos. Sleeping bags spilled out from the doors of ransacked tents, the result of kids changing which tent they crashed in every night after pillaging leftovers off the long tables full of aluminum foil-covered trays in the main tent, swimming with the moon and doing who knows what else. Laka remembered it well. Some things didn't change. She took a deep breath and followed the salty smell of roasting fish and chicken toward the fire. The uncles waved their stainless steel tongs in greeting before returning to the cooking meat on the grill. Her father